All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Azariah here.
And the brother Dunya Allah.
Coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, is edifying, all right? So we're going to title this lesson, The Wiles of the Devil, all right? We're going to start off with this first scripture here. All right, Salaki. Oh, wait a minute. Bear with me. We're going to go to the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Just going into the origins of the wiles of the devil, okay? The devil being Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, Genesis chapter 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh power have made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Right. So this serpent, okay, represents a man of another nation. Okay, it doesn't go into an actual snake, creeping around on the ground that can speak. Okay, and also the serpent has a representation of going into witchcraft. All right.
Hey, and I got that word for serpent. In the Google dictionary, the first definition says literally a large snake, but definition 2 says a sly or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it. Right? So this was an actual man who was exploiting, that position of trust with Eve. He beguiled Eve and deceived Eve through his witchcraft. Right? And the bro got the word the Nachash.
Yeah, so the word here is Nachash. Okay, and it goes into a serpent or a snake, an image of a serpent, so on and so forth. Now, when we go into the roots of this word, eventually we get down to, here we go right here. Okay, so it's still the same word, nachash, okay, but it goes to practice divination, to divine, to observe signs, to learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune telling, to take as an omen, to practice divination, to observe the signs and omens. So it goes back to the origins of witchcraft, because there's a point of being so crafty and cunning that you are actually, so like you got something down there, you trying to highlight it. There's a point of being so crafty and being slick-tongued, serpent-like, that it begins to become like a form of witchcraft. Where you're trying to deceive somebody so hard and you're using like all this guile, it's like you're trying to work a spell on somebody. It's almost like a Jedi mind trick. Go ahead, brother.
Right. And as you can see down here, they have another definition to hiss, to whisper, especially used as whispering of soothsayers. Right. So, hey, this is witchcraft, man. Esau, he says certain things. You have something called gobbledygook, basically.
Gobbledygook, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Which is a term where they use all these different words to hide the true meaning of what they're trying to say. They use all these complex words just to confuse you.
God.
Esau is all about deception. That's one of his spiritual powers that the Lord gave him.
Yep, that's right. And the scriptures, I actually was trying to get that. There is actually a precept about subtlety. See if I can find it real quick through the spirit. Okay, let me get it. Right here. This is actually it right here. Cause Esau, man, he's super subtle, man. Okay, and to the point of wickedness. Okay. Okay, we ain't gonna give it to me right there. I know it's in Sirach. Okay. No, that's not it. Salakia, bear with me 1 second. See if I can get it to pop up. Sirach 19 and 25 says, There is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. But there's an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. There's a level of being so subtle that it becomes wickedness. You know what I mean? Like being so passively aggressive. You're not being straightforward. You're not letting your yay be yay and your nay be nay. You're just being a demon. You're being a manipulative demon. And that's Esau, man. He's exquisitely subtle, But goes back to that original precept. Then we're going to get into this article, unless the bro got something through the spirit. But Genesis 3:1 again. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made. Okay? And he said unto the woman, yea, have the Most High said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So he was so subtle, okay, more subtle than any other creature. All right, and it was pure wickedness. He was lying his ass off. Okay, You got something, bro?
Right. The scripture says is his tongue was in his mouth was smooth as butter, and his tongue was softer than oil. Right. So he slick talked to man. Right. And really, how does the devil do that, man? He uses part of the truth and then he twists it and distorts it and make it seem like it's all truth.
God.
You know, because you need truth in order to make a lie.
Yep. Right. Right. Yep. They always, and that's how the devil works, man. They give you a little bit of truth to kind of make the lie seem like it's the truth. You know, they put something in there that you can't deny, and then you a lot of people take the whole thing as truth. You know, which is also the danger of how they preach another Yahweh Shah, which is not another. They're giving you scripture, so you believe in the scriptures, and they quote it verbatim, and sometimes they be right about the breakdown, but then they throw a bunch of bullshit with it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how you aim. They try to take these different scriptures and tie them into the different mythology, man. These cunningly devised fables.
Right.
They were cunningly devised, so they sat down and took their time to make these different things to deceive people.
It made a diligent search, man.
Yep,
the heart of every one of them is deep. Apostle Ramlab actually was touching on that.
Hey, just as a scripture we got, I just looked up that word exquisite, and it actually goes into to seek out. Right? So they established a diligent search. They know how people's minds work.
God.
That's how they can use their witchcraft through the TV to get at people, man.
God. That's right, man. So we're going to go into this article, which is one of the bases for us doing this lesson. Okay, and it goes into the question, what is media framing? Okay, so the bro had me Google this term media framing, and we ran across this article. Okay, which goes into it. Okay, so we'll just read a little bit and let the spirit roll. Media framing can simply be described as the angle or perspective from which a news story is told. You just interject them if you want to, whenever, So yeah, it's simply described as the angle or perspective from which a news story is told. History is common referred to as his story because you're getting the perspective of the person who was able to write that narrative. You see?
And when you go into these different elite Edomites, man, right? These international banking families, these Rockefellers, they actually hired, their own historians to tell, because they actually asked the modern day, the greatest historians of those times. They came to them and asked them if they could alter history, basically not tell the truth. Right, and you can get that. The bro just pull it up. You can get that on How Big Oil Conquered the World.
Right.
They go into it. Basically goes into how Esau started to deceive, man. Which it was before this, but how he basically further put a stronghold on the minds of the people in the world, man.
That's right, man. That's right. And it just goes to show you how he used his money and bribery and different things to become a worldwide superpower, as it talks right here, and to deceive the whole world, man. To deceive the whole world. And it really just goes into, if you look at it and the spirit's dealing with you, you can see how this Edomite here single-handedly, the Most High gave him the ability to be able to alter a lot of stuff, man. The way medicine was done, the way history was taught, just so many things he was able to do through his sword, man. And a part of his sword is that subtlety, man, that witchcraft, man. Go ahead, bro.
Good.
All right, so we want to move on to something else.
Or we can get some more from that article.
Back to the article.
Yeah.
So while news is often thought to be objective and value free, this is rarely ever the case. In fact, most news stories are value laden in both their production and content. Go ahead, bro. So
Right.
go ahead, bro.
So you got these different, these different news channels, okay, which are all owned by these elite bankers, right? Which they'll give you a certain perspective on the same story, but they'll focus on different points to get you to think a certain way, and then they'll use certain titles to evoke a certain emotions into you, right? Esau, like what's going on right now with different riots and stuff, man. Esau is playing off the you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He's playing off your emotions, man.
Yep. Whereas it's supposed to be an unbiased, unedited truth type of deal. The news is supposed to be just that. But news has become an entertainment. News has become a platform for people to push their agendas. Esau to push his agenda and to formulate slander against, and really it goes down to him trying to tighten things down against the children of Israel, man. Against you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and primarily the elect, man, the prophets. It's really all goes down to him trying to tie down the prophets. What does it say? They shoot secretly at the perfect in the dark. They shoot their arrows, even bitter words. They say all these different things to kind of demonize you. So there's some more in here. There's a lot in this article we can get. Let's go to a precept. We're going to go to a precept before we go too far. So essentially, the serpent was the first lying reporter. He was the first person to give a false narrative. He took the facts and he presented them in a light that would make it more acceptable for what he wanted to accomplish. You see? Because he wasn't lying. We can go back to Genesis 3. Okay. And we read verse 4, or actually, when we read verse 5, see, the lie was in verse 4 where he said, "Ye shall surely not die." For verse 5, he said, "For the Most High doth know in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." So that wasn't a lie. Their eyes will be open to knowing good and evil by learning the wicked, evil ways of the other nations and performing those acts. Yeah, they would be kind of like gods, being able to know good and evil.
Yeah.
But they will die, though. That was the lie. Go ahead, bro.
The die is that ye shall surely die. Because this is what the Lord said to them. That if you eat of this tree, if you take on these philosophies, you're gonna die. Right. So he lied about that, but he told the truth about them being when it says as the gods, being as the angels, right? Who know good and evil. That's right. Who are balancing their judgment. Right. So you can see it's the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. Esau will give you a little bit of truth, but then he'll throw some bullshit in there to get you to believe it wholeheartedly.
God, that's right. And ultimately, the spirit of the serpent has been passed down into Esau, Edom. Okay, and so that's why, and we have to understand something. Okay, when the Bible talks about the devil and all that, it's referring to someone who acts out the part of the devil on the planet Earth, which we're going to get that in this lesson. Okay, because our people have learned the ways of Esau, Edom. And so this is why in John 8:44, which I'm about to get it real quick, this is why this was said here. Okay. And Salakia, my cat's being a distraction in the background, so Lord willing, this is edifying. He's acting crazy, man. So it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Satan as usual, John 8:44, okay, says this: "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do." Okay, now he's speaking to other Israelites. He's speaking to wicked Israelites in this particular situation, but we want to get the point. He was a murderer from the beginning. So the spirit that was on Cain, what he did to Abel, and he abode not in the truth. So this is going back to the serpent, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So the first lie was the serpent. And then Cain did the same thing, That's why I said, "Unto him shall be thy desire," right? When they were speaking to Cain, because they were both acting out the part of the spiritual demon Satan on the planet Earth. They were both being wicked as hell, you know, and being of their father the devil at that point, you know. Go ahead, bro. You got something?
Yeah, man. So, like we were saying, the spirit that was on the serpent, that sly man, that treacherous man, is the spirit that was in Cain. Cain was the first murderer.
Yeah.
Right. What did he also do after he murdered his brother? He lied to the Most High.
Yeah.
You know, he lied.
Right. You got something?
No, I'm just looking up that word devil.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna definitely get it because there's like some more different stuff. It's gonna say that old serpent, the devil, and Satan, and then we'll define it at that point. Yeah. So we're gonna go to Psalms 50, read verse 19 and verse 20, right? So actually we'll start at 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Now, we're going to show you here through the precepts we have lined up that the wicked actually refers to a specific people in many cases. Now, of course, there are wicked in all nations. There are wicked of 2/3 of the house of Israel. There's wicked other nations, but there is a nation known as the wicked. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, or the border of wickedness is what people will call this nation, right? So let's skip down into verse 19 and give you some characteristics. It says, Thy givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue framest deceit. And what's this called? It's called media framing, where they frame the media in a certain light, but it's being deceitful in order to push forth an agenda.
Right.
You know,
because when you watch TV, man, it really works on your subconscious mind, right? So when they give you a certain perspective of what reality is, but it's not really reality, man. So they're framing, they give you certain frames and teach certain employ certain values in these different TV shows and commercials, right? And when you watch it over and over and over, they're repetitious with it, okay? That starts to become the frame in your mind, right? That's a part of their witchcraft, making you think that these lies is reality. That's why so many, you know, and who knows whether the situation where, you know, George Floyd, he actually died, or whether it was a setup, right? Which, you know, it wouldn't be far fetched. Esau does things like this, man. We're dealing with the devil. He's a serpent, man, right? But either way, they use that to control people, to control what they think, man. You know, just as the scriptures say, you know, through this truth we break down strongholds. Right, because really the war is out for your mind, man.
Yeah.
The war resides in your spirit, man. The war is out for your mind. If they can control your mind, they can control you, man.
That's right.
And as you can see, they have a lot of sway and influence on these regular jakes out here, man. 2/3 of our people, right? But then, the Lord, you know, the Lord's revealing it.
No, you good, bro. Yep. The Lord's bringing out the truth of what they really got going on, man. You know, and man, and there's so much information out here, man. Let's read this. In fact, most news stories are value laden in both their production and content. So what it's saying is there's values that are pushed forth in the production and the content of these different things, you know, and they got a good example down here. You know, I'll just click on it and we'll read some more. Okay, how there's two different narratives that are pushed using the same story. On this one, it says, okay, this is for Fox News Latino. It's painted in a positive light. In a rare move, the university grants 22,000 scholarship to an undocumented student. So it's positive on that aspect. But then when they hit Americas, it's like, okay, there's money for illegals. You see? Money's being given out to these illegals, you know, so it's catering to two different sides. Right. To native. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, when you think about it too, bro, he's using certain words to evoke a particular emotion out of you. It's like casting spells, man.
That's right.
Right, soothsaying. Right, he's speaking with that sly tongue. Right, so here it says undocumented student, right? So that sounds less harsh.
Less harsh, yeah.
Right? because that's what they're showing to Latino. You know, most the undocumented people would be, Latinos coming over the border or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But then when you show it in America, they want people to be against the so-called Latinos.
Right.
Right? So they say money for illegals.
Illegals
Have that negative connotation, so it evokes that negative emotion inside it.
Yep, and it pushes it forth, It pushes it forth. It's kind of like that, it was something like, I don't really watch it no more, but it was just something, this thing on this episode of South Park where they had a bunch of racist hillbilly hicks and from the country, and they was like, they took our jobs. They took our jobs. And it was like, so it was degenerating into like where they wasn't even saying words no more, but it just pushed forth that emotion. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
They was saying it, and everybody just kept repeating it. It's like the power of that media. If you look up here at the top, it's got a hand reaching out through the screen at this baby, to try to grab hold of his mind. Believe what I'm showing you. So,
yeah, man, and hey, man, hey, these different TV shows, man, they push demons on people, man.
Mm-hmm.
These different music videos, man, where they be doing ritual sacrifices on the TV,
mm-hmm.
right, and chanting and basically singing to deities, man, to these different spirits, man. This is a part of Esau's witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
That's why personally I don't even like to watch TV.
Yeah, man. Unless
I'm watching the news, that's a different deal. But I like to pick what I watch.
Yeah, you got to be selective. Like, really, the best place I feel like to get the news is on social media, man. Because if you watch the news channel too long, they kind of push like certain. The mind is very delicate, man. The mind is very intricate, delicate, and complex. And Esau made a diligent search, and so he'll push forth something, and he'll flash certain images to the point where you might catch yourself getting down about something. You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
it can affect you.
Coronavirus thing, bro. I ain't talking about it now, but it was in the news every day for like 3-4 months, bro.
Yeah,
everybody's getting scared. Coronavirus rates have gone up.
Yep,
over 100,000 people has been affected by coronavirus.
Right.
And 700,000 people have died from coronavirus, man.
Right.
So imagine hearing that over and over and over and over again and repetitiously. That's the thing about the mind, man. You hear something repetitiously, you start to believe it's real.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you find you can't. Yeah. The mind is very delicate, man. So that, to the point where if you listen to certain studies or read certain things, that's why there's hypnotism. That's why people listen to stuff while they sleep. You can listen to an audio while you're sleeping, and your mind will receive it subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be on a conscious level, but there are things subconsciously your mind receives, even when you're not actively trying to receive something.
Right, and it goes into your spirit, basically, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It goes right into your spirit.
Right.
That's why you got to be careful about listening to a certain type of music too much, man.
Yep. And even the images you allow to get into your mind can kind of like sway you and corrupt you, man. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be real careful, man. And be mindful and take heed to thyself, of certain things that you may be doing, and try to limit your exposure to certain stuff, because it definitely does have an effect. Whether you feel like you got a handle on it or not, there are things you just going into your mind that you ain't even actively, receiving, man.
Mm-hmm.
Or consciously, I should say. And you wonder why you have weird ass thoughts, which we know it goes back to demons. But still, let's go ahead and read a little bit more of this, then we'll go back into we'll get into some scriptures. We don't want to make it too long, all right? So we'll read a lot of this and we'll go into a scripture. So news is not an exact representation of reality, but rather a reconstruction from various angles of a small section of reality. And Edomites are real good on this. This is why we say you're Edomite, Vocab, because Vocab took that whole hour-long encounter with Dallas and snipped it down to a few minutes,
Snipped it down to a few minutes.
But that's what he does. You put background music on it. He kind of skipped a lot of what the brothers were saying because he was getting cut. And so he had to put it in a different light and try to soften it. That's why it took him so long, because it really wasn't nothing he could soften. Even in the part he put up, it still was good on the Dallas Bros. The Dallas Bros was still bringing out good points. you know, and cutting his ass. This is not to say journalists necessarily lie or consciously distort the truth, but that journalists, by covering particular stories using particular sources from a particular news angle, are constructing reality through a selective process. So they lying, basically. They say, oh, it's not necessarily that they're lying, but if you take something and you twist it up and you make it look a certain way, then yeah, it's basically a lie.
Yeah. It's framing deceit.
Framing deceit, exactly. That tongue frames deceit. Matter of fact, did we ever finish that? Psalms 50 and 19. Okay, talking about the wicked. Huh? Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. And that's what Esau does, man. He slanders Jacob, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which is actually his own mother's son.
Right.
You see,
he tried to say what that so-called blacks and Latinos are more likely to get coronavirus. Man, they're trying to make us. They try to make us to face a coronavirus.
Right.
Right. They try to say that Hebrew Israelites are terrorists.
Yep.
Right. By staging these different things and trying to connect them to Hebrew Israelites.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And also, every time a so-called black person or Latino or Native American person gets killed unjustly, like a dog in the streets, they always seem to dig up some type of criminal history or past that this individual had and put that up there like there's some type of justification for this person being killed the way they got killed. Well, he in his past he did this and then he did that. You know,
right?
If you got it, they're gonna pull it up and they're gonna put that up there to say, well, see, the nigger deserved to die.
Yeah, hey, they're possessors slay them and holding themselves not guilty. Themselves
not guilty. That's right. Right. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's that subtlety, man. He covers the story from a different angle. You shall surely not die. He just scared that you're gonna know good and evil. You see. All right. So let's see. While agenda setting or gatekeeping decides what a newspaper or broadcaster covers or does not cover, the frame is the overarching angle of how the various stories are treated once they are covered. So, like you'll see, so-called black people may go into a store, which we don't condone that, but they may go into a store or like what was it? What happened in Louisiana, right? During Katrina, okay, there was a bunch of the people weren't getting help. You know what I mean? And so they were having to go inside of different stores that were flooded or opened up, and they were taking certain necessities because they were flooded in. People were drowning, and they didn't have certain things. And so, but likewise, there were white people doing the same thing. Now, when Jake did it, these looters are doing this and they're doing that. But then when it was Edomites, it was there's the survivors are foraging for essentials,
right? So basically, Esau tries to make himself look as the benevolent character in the story that he's making, right?
Yeah.
He's speaking a lie of his own, man.
Right, yep. Right. Yep, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay, back in John 8:44. So overall, let's go into some more precepts because it talked about the father, the devil, right? So let's go into some precepts about that. Revelation 12:9, okay? And you had anything you have any words you want to get, or
yeah, I'm gonna get that.
You got the devil, okay? Revelation 12, and like I said, Lord willing, this is edifying. Just kind of want to go into it. And we had a plan, and then how things go. Revelation 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. All right, so you're gonna get that word.
Right. So that word for devil is diabolos in the Greek. It says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. A culminator, false accuser. Right? It says applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act a part of the devil or to side with him.
Mhm.
right? So, hey, basically, that word goes into a false accuser, right, or a slanderer, man,
Mhm.
which means to bear false witness. Okay, so basically, he's a liar. That's what he does.
Right.
Okay, the wicked they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Yep.
So he can't tell the truth.
Nope.
The Lord didn't make
Hold
him
on.
that
Wait.
way, man.
Wait. I gotta grab that,
You
bro.
cannot tell the truth.
Yes, Con. Yep, that's right, man. I gotta get that because that's gonna tie in with the lesson, man. Okay. Psalms 58:3. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." Now, like I said, we're going to get into the scripture. Matter of fact, we may have to just go ahead and pull it out prematurely to show you that the wicked actually goes into a people. You know, the wicked is talking about a people, man, a specific people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Malachi 1:4 says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Most High have indignation forever." So Esau, Edom, you know, that nation of Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness. Where they are, wickedness is even at the gates. You see?
Mm-hmm.
They're the nation that plays the role of the devil on the planet Earth, like the bro brought out, Diabolos. Prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator, a false accuser, a slanderer, metaphorically applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Okay, so when it talks about this old serpent and devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, it's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about a man. Let's get that word serpent. That word serpent is right here in the Greek. And I'm going to just hit play on it. I can't hear it.
Strong's G 3789. Office. Office.
Yeah, it says office. I have my headphones right here, so I heard some of it. Office, okay? Snake or serpent. With the ancients, the serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. The serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil. So let's go down here and get the point that I want. As a type of sly, cunning, and artful, malicious person.
Ooh.
You see, especially Satan. Now it says person. You right? So we read Diabolos and we read the serpent, and both of them allude to a slick person. You see?
Right. Hey, and it says especially Satan. Well, Esau is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, man.
Right.
The word Satan means adversary.
Right. As a matter of fact, we're gonna reorder these little scriptures that we have again wrote down here, because we're gonna get 2 Thessalonians earlier than we normally would have, just to solidify that point.
God.
2 Thessalonians 2, okay, and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, which the Israelites did fall away from their heritage and knowing who they were. Okay, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So this ain't talking about just one man that y'all want to say he's the Antichrist. He's the most wicked man on the earth, and he's a beast, and he's going to get a wound, and he's going to live. No, man, this is talking about a group of people, a nation of people, a kingdom of people ruling on the planet Earth, known as Esau, Edom. It started with the Roman Empire, and now it exists today with the spearhead being America, Babylon the Great. Go ahead, bro. Right. So as you can see, okay, that's what that's going into, and Lord willing, you'll see it by the time we get the rest of these precepts. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. So who out of all the nations of people opposes and raises himself up above everything that is called God? Well, Esau Edom is the one who pushes this science and says that science is the creator of all. Science created this, not God. There's no higher power. It's all the Big Bang, evolution, a random occurrence of explosions and chemical reactions caused everything that you see today. Who pushes that agenda and teaches that to the whole world, man? Okay, who makes that his curriculum? Esau, Edom. The people that are the powers that be are Esau, Edom, the so-called white people. Okay, they're the one that teaches these things. Okay, and you know, so like we showed you. Okay, this person. Okay, now let's go back. Let's go get some tie to the rest of this together, man. Let's go back to Revelation 12 and 9. Okay, so and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. All right, so this is talking about a man, a physical man, who actually had deceived the whole world with his pseudoscience. Okay, which science just means knowledge. Okay, but these people have deceived the whole world. Okay, the whole world is drunk. Matter of fact, let me get this. Golden cup in the hand. It probably popped up while I was reading. Jeremiah 51 and 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. They're angry. And also it can be said they're crazy. Okay? You know? So, you know, that's two different ways you can look at that word mad, right? So let's get the rest of these precepts, man. Just kind of linking this all together. Matter of fact, we're gonna prove that Babylon is referring to Esau, Edom, man. Okay. Psalms 137. And Lord willing, like I said, this is edifying. I don't want to make it too long. I'm going to try to wrap it up. Psalms 137 and 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they carried us away captive, or for there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. And that's what these Edomites do. Sing, boy! Sing, boy! All the while they treat you like a piece of crap, but then they want you to be happy and shuck and drive and be a good nigger. Verse 4. How shall we sing the Most High song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee, as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. So it's just giving you, okay, showing you who Babylon is. Okay, so when it said that he's a serpent that deceiveth the whole world, Jeremiah 51 and 7 again, Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that have made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. So they've been deceived by the wine, the philosophy of Babylon. And we just showed you that Babylon goes back to Esau, Edom. Then in Malachi, we showed you that Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness. You see, so it's all tying together that these people, Esau, Edom, the Edomites, will be known as the wicked and will deceive the whole world. And they're after the working of Satan, man. You see? So they're the physical counterpart of Satan on the planet Earth. And they're referred to as that serpent, the dragon, the devil, you know? Mm-hmm. And they deceive the whole planet. You got something? I'm going to go to Revelation 20 now. Yeah, about to wrap it up soon. Got a few more. Revelation 20 and start at verse 1. Yeah, just if you got something, just, come on out with it. Let me know. Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right. So, hey, notice it said that old serpent. Let's make a reference to Genesis chapter 3 again.
Yeah.
Right? So that man that was sly and treacherous, man. Okay, and his seed, the seed that came forth out of him, man. Right, that nation of people who are likened unto serpents, man. Right, you Edomites. Okay, that old serpent, man.
Con. Yeah. Matter of fact, where is that? And it is here in verse 3.
Verse 1.
Not verse 1. I mean, not verse 3, but chapter 3. Where it says, so Genesis chapter 3 and 15, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Now, I got another precept too. Can you? I'll let you grab that. Can you get the setup over at the basis of men? Yeah. So when it's talking about here the serpent, right? It says, let's read verse 14. And Yahweh power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. This was representative of bringing them down to the lowest nation upon the planet Earth. Okay, Esau Edom was cursed, and all the nation that will come, which really Esau Edom is the final incarnation of the serpent seed. Okay, so to speak, to put it in those terms, but it was prophesied that they would be brought down, that whoever inherited the spirit of the serpent will be the lowest nation, and that fell upon Esau Edom. So if you can grab that.
This is Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Right. So the Most High setteth up over the earth right now the basis of men. He was made the lowest of all the cattle. So Esau Edom, the basis of all nations, the seed of the serpent, okay, is set up over the whole planet. So like I said, the serpent will be cursed and be on the lowest of the low. Okay, that's who currently rules the earth, man. And this enmity of the seed of the woman, which goes into the seed of Israel, okay, and the seed of the serpent, which is Esau Edom, okay, the so-called white man, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan on the planet Earth. There's always was prophesied to be tension between them, okay. And from the time that the Most High chose to put that spirit, to put those two nations inside of who was it? Rebecca. Rebecca, inside of Rebecca's womb, they was fighting in the womb, man. You see,
the children strove together, man. They was fighting.
Right. So that was like, I can't say it was the beginning, because they was fighting. The wicked was fighting against the righteous from the beginning with Abel and Cain. But that was when this long struggle kind of we could say began between Jacob and Esau, and specifically, and we're still in that. We're still in that right now. It hasn't ended yet. It's been going on for generations. This is the final battle right here. When Esau is finally taken out of power by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and put back in his rightful place, and then eventually destroyed. It's a lot, yeah. So Revelation 20 and 2 again, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more. Okay, so there was a period of time. Okay, so this started with the Roman Empire. Okay, during the Roman Empire, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which they proudly proclaimed that they were the Greeks and the Romans. They proudly proclaimed that they were these people. Okay, during this time, they were going around deceiving the different nations. There was a lot of different aspects where he was doing some of the same things he's doing now. He was claiming to be the Jews. During the Herodian dynasty, a lot of them converted to Judaism, right? And they were claiming to be Jewish, okay? They were claiming to be the Greeks, which they were not the original people of that land, okay? They were calling themselves everything but Esau Edom at that time. That's why Paul talked about the mystery of iniquity, which was already working at that time. The mystery of iniquity, they were being revealed then, and they're being revealed now. They were hiding themselves then, they're hiding themselves now. Okay, but that beast, that dragon being cast into the bottomless pit was when the Roman Empire was taken down. Okay, and the Holy Roman Empire was rising up, where Jacob, Jake was ruling. Jake was ruling for 1,000-year period. Okay, and then after that 1,000 years, he was loose for a little season. Okay, so let's read verse 3 again, and we'll wrap it up here soon. All right, Revelation 20:3, and he cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season, and we're still in his season for being loosed.
And he started to come back into the world to deceive around the 1300s. Right, because you had Jake ruling in Europe in these different places, and had them basically trapped in the caves.
Yep.
And for those who were, free, had them as slaves, man. So he had them under his feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
But then the time came for these different curses, and prophecies to come to pass. So Esau had to be let out, man.
Yep. This is an example of when they were kind of taken down and put in their lower state, which was like a prophecy, because of course during the time of Job, they weren't in their power. But Job 30:5, it says they were driven forth from among men. Matter of fact, some more in there. Job 30 and 1. But now they that are younger than me have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock, because Esau's a base man, he does wickedness with the animals. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men, they cried after them as after a thief. And that goes back to that precept we read about, thou sittest and slanderest thy mother's son,
Verse 6.
When y'all saw a thief, y'all contended with him. Verse 6, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks.
Right, so this is that base man that it was talking about, man. Mm-hmm. This caveman, so to speak, man. Caucasian, a cave dweller, man.
Yeah.
Right, so really Esau is a base man, but now in this time, with his deception, he's wiser than the children of light, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he thinks he got this all on his own accord, when it's all through the Most High to bring forth his prophecies.
Right. Verse 7, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. So they were the cavemen. Okay, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Okay, and Esau Edom is the border of wickedness. They were created to be the wicked on the planet Earth, man. So we're coming back full circle. Thessalonians chapter 2 again. Start at verse 3. And I'll just probably read 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And he's being revealed and being called out for who he truly is. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, let's get Jeremiah 49:10 just to show you about that revealing. Okay.
47.
47.
Oh, is it?
It's 49.
49. Oh, you said Jeremiah.
Yeah. Jeremiah 49:10 says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. So Esau Edom is being made bare. Shameful spewing is becoming upon his glory. The stuff. Esau has been boasting in his power and in his might and in his sword and the things that he's accomplished. And now it's being showed that, wait a minute, you ain't really do shit but oppress and kill and rape and rob and lie, and you didn't get it honorably. You didn't get it because you was really strong, nigga. You was being sneaky, So and that's very shameful, So now it's being revealed that you was just really a bitch ass nigga who was lying to get what he wanted,
Doing all matters of wickedness.
Right. That's right. All right, so we're definitely finna wrap it up. Isaiah 47:1. Now that we've established, some things here to tie in some of these key words, we're just going to prove who's being revealed. All right. Isaiah 47, starting at verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Ain't that what it called Esau, Edom in Psalms 137? O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And in the book of Habakkuk, it says, I send forth the Chaldeans, a nation that taketh a land that's not their own, basically. And that's what Esau, Edom does.
Right.
He goes into other lands and takes them. Go ahead, bro.
Right. You know, it says, come down and sit in the dust. So the Lord's going to put these Edomites in a state of confusion, man.
Right.
Right. He's going to bring them low, man.
Yeah.
They're going to become base again. Right. It says, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Right. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. So he's going to take them out of power, man.
Right.
And before the Lord takes them out of power, he's exposing them.
Right.
Right. Letting everybody know that this is the man of sin, that he's wicked. Right, and then, right, what which the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets, and the brightness of his coming. So first he's going to get destroyed, he's going to get exposed, so everybody can see that he's wicked, and then the Lord's going to destroy him. Right, he's going to take him out of power. It says, "O daughter of the Chaldeans," right? What are the Chaldeans known for? Their witchcraft, their monthly prognostication. They're astrologers, right? They're soothsayers, they're sorcerers, right? Those were the wise men of Babylon, which was steeped in witchcraft. So that's why it refers to this man as the daughter of the Chaldeans.
That's right. That's right. And also here it says, Habakkuk 1:6, for lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. And that's another key thing that Esau Edom does. He goes and what does it say? He shall oppress a man in his heritage.
Yep.
Yeah, even a man in his heritage. So that's what they do, man. They go to Africa. We the Africans now. We the South African. They name another continent after their own people.
And then they try to portray themselves as the original Egyptians, which they did rule Egypt for a period of time.
Right.
But that wasn't the land that was given to them as a portion.
Right. Yep.
Right. That was given to Mitzrayim.
Right.
Because, hey, the Lord gave all these nations their portion of land.
Right. Isaiah 47 and 2. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Right. So thy nakedness shall be uncovered and thy shame shall be seen. So the Lord's exposing their wickedness. Right, all the stuff that's going on in the news with the coronavirus, George Floyd, and amongst other things, man. People are not falling for the okie doke now. Yeah. The Lord's, is having it to where these devils are getting sloppy, man. They're getting caught on camera. Yeah. And people are seeing that they're actually they're the devil, man. They're the liars, man.
That's right. Yep. And this just goes to show you, man. That the Most High is a master chess player, and to the eyes of them to have the eyes to see, it's being revealed, man. This can't be talking about nobody else but Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It can't be. Look at verse 6, Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke. And it also says what? Thou have overpassed the affliction. I forget what it was. I was mad for a short time, but thou forwarded the affliction.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another precept. But just basically going to show you.
Esau, he did overkill, man.
He did overkill.
He did more than what was needed.
Right.
Did more than what was needed. Oh, could you read that also, the rest of the 3?
Yeah. Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Right, so the Lord is going to expose Esau first and then come to destroy him, man. And then come to take his vengeance. Right, but he's going to make it known that this man is wicked. And then he's going to destroy his whole kingdom. Right? Says, I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man. Who's not going to meet Esau as a man? Yahushua. He's coming back as an angelic force, man. right? He's coming back with that spiritual power, man. Okay,
That's right.
that's why it says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Sit thou silent, get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So the Lord's he's stripping you of your power, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Get thee in the darkness, man. Right?
Right.
You ain't gonna no longer be called the illuminated ones. Right? We gonna be the elect men of Israel are gonna be the illuminated ones. Quite literally.
Kind of, yep. They're gonna have that glow. They'll shine at the firmament of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Or shine as the stars in heaven. They that turn many to righteousness shall shine as the stars. Isaiah 47 in verse 2 says, take the meal. Wait a minute. Is that the one I wanted?
That's the same one, right?
Yeah. Actually. Oh, yeah, that's right. I want to read. That's right. I was going to break it down differently. So, that's how I had it wrote. But, yeah, man. Hey. So just kind of going into, this witchcraft, man, this media framing, it goes back all the way to the beginning, man, with the spirit of the serpent, okay? Spirit that was on the man that was referred to as the serpent-like man, the deceitful man. That same spirit has been passed down to generation to generation of the wicked, okay? And is here on the planet Earth and is in rulership, okay? Esau, even the so-called white man, is in the spirit of Satan, okay? The spirit of Cain, okay? And they all go back to doing the work of the spiritual demon Satan. They're the physical counterpart thereof, and they're doing his work on this earth, man. Which is the left hand side of the Most High's power, anyway. Okay. Ultimately, it all goes back to the Most High. But yeah, man, Esau's using this media framing to frame deceit, to push forth a false narrative. To the point where you can't rely on a lot of the information you see. Like the bro said, was this real? Was this fake? Hey, it's to the point he'll put it on TV and it'll be staged. He'll hire a crisis actor. They'll say a certain amount of people died when they really didn't. And the list goes on and on and on. They would even came out that they said, oh, so many people died from the coronavirus, but really they died from other things. But people were just taking advantage of those deaths and slapping coronavirus on the title to push the fear, man.
Okay.
So this is what Esau does, man. Unless you got anything else, we'll probably just
that's it.
Probably just end it there. So yeah, Lord willing, this is edifying once again. Anything you try to do positively is gonna be met with opposition. So Lord willing, nothing detracted from the lesson. But hey, want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.